There were only 3 motivators in the history of human culture. 3 motivators that drove nations and states to do great things. Great as in large, unforgettably magnificent, or unforgettably devastating. Just an investment of human and financial capital. We can make a list of what would go on that list, of what would be there. So the pyramids, that's big and expensive, and they're still around. The pyramids. By the way, do you know the next thing in human culture that was built that was taller than the pyramids? Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower. What was that, 18, right? 5,000 years later, we figured out how to make something taller. Actually, there was a cathedral in the 1400s, but they didn't quite know how to sustain domes, so it was a short-lived. All right, the pyramids would be on there, the Great Wall of China, the Manhattan Project, the Apollo Project, the Columbus voyages. We'd all agree, these are expensive things undertaken by nations. What did they have in common? Only one of 3 things. The greatest driver of them all is obvious. It's the I don't want to die driver, all right? The war driver. That's where you get the Great Wall of China. That's where you get the Manhattan Project. Time and again, the conduct of our species has demonstrated that if you feel threatened, money flows like rivers to minimize that threat or eradicate it altogether, no matter the project. There's another driver, the promise of economic return. That's how you get the Columbus voyages and Magellan voyages, Lewis and Clark. You get investments where people say, I don't want to die poor, okay? There's a third driver there's less of it today, common centuries ago, and that's the praise of royalty or deity. That got you the cathedral building in Europe. Whole episodes where most of the GDP went into building cathedrals. Not most, big chunks of the GDP went into building cathedrals. The pyramids, that's praise of royalty. There's less of that today, hardly any of that today. You don't see whole nations investing huge amount of money in the service of God or their king. It just doesn't happen much anymore. So there are 2 drivers. If you want to do something expensive and it does not fulfill one of those 2 drivers, it's not going to happen. Period. Unless you're going to claim that you live in a very special community that differs in its outlook on the causes and effects of investment and human dreams. If you have to say that you are different from every civilization that has come before you. I don't see evidence of that.